Hello, my name is Craig Forrest. I'm an active member of the Libertarian Party of Louisiana and the treasurer of the Libertarian Party of Lafayette. I'd like to talk to you about the 4 amendments on the upcoming November 13th ballot. I'll be going from what I consider the least complicated to the most of the 4. I did do early voting 2 days ago. The 4th amendment is probably the most straightforward. It changes a may into a shall and a 5 into a 10. Very simple. It lets the state often siphon 10% of dedicated funds towards the general budget instead of 5%. Instead of having funds dedicated to education, hurricane prevention, and recovery, the funds can be spent flexibly. We use dedicated funds to combat corruption, but we went too far, and it doesn't really function as a budget the way it currently works. This is a very easy yes for me. The 3rd amendment is something I normally vote down on principle. It's a local issue, so I generally vote this down. This will be my first time voting that I have voted yes on such a thing. In this case, I did so because it's something that will keep coming up on the ballot until it gets passed, because it actually is needed by these 5 specific levy districts that make up a very small portion of Louisiana that really need this to pass. The only thing it does is that it allows them to vote on something that everyone else can already vote on, because we wrote our laws correctly and they messed up writing theirs. The 1st amendment is really verbose. However, it's a necessary step towards getting a new constitution, so I voted yes for this. It increases the ability to make online filing, so we're not stuck in the 20th century. It also makes the audit process uniform across the state, which it always should have been. Very nonsensical that it wasn't in the first place, but whatever. The 2nd amendment, much more complicated, deals with a lot more stuff. It deals with House Bill 278 and a lot of other things that don't really show up on the ballot. We currently use our state income tax as a way to mitigate federal income tax. Ours drops when theirs picks up, and vice versa. That safety net is probably not necessary, as it usually doesn't come up, and currently no major U.S. parties are in favor of increasing federal income tax at the lowest brackets. Voting yes would do away with the safety net and also lower state income tax by a small percentage. More importantly, it changes corporate tax, which is not mentioned on the ballot, lowering it from the current amount, which starts at 4% under $25,000 and ends at 8% after $200,000, using 4 brackets, percentages 4 through 8, to a system that uses 3 brackets, first of which is 3.5% under $50,000, 5.5% up until $150,000, and then 7.5% going forward. This matters a lot if you're a big investor in the stock market or if you're a small business owner, especially if your business is making around $25,000 a year in net income, because you will know at the beginning of the fiscal year you are paying 3.5% rather than being uncertain as to whether you're going to end up having to pay 4 or 5% at the end of the fiscal in December. I had to think about this one for quite a while. Talking to various people, reading many opinions before voting yes, which I did. It did take a lot of thinking on this one. I didn't rush my thoughts in this and took a lot of time with it. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you, and I thank you for listening in. Thanks.